Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Well, we're continuing our conversation with Senator Shehu Sani, a member of the APC, taking a look at the developments within the party, how it affects the Senate, and the expectations of Nigerians. You have a question, sir?
Yes, I was going to ask the question. Senator Sani, there's a portion of the Constitution that talks about the election of any politician into any position, that when he's elected, is actually the party that is elected, not the individual. When the Senate gets to the point where they want to look at the Constitution, do you think that that's an area that might need to be looked at so that elected officials can, to some extent, put out the toga of the political party?
Well, if anyone decided to put that forward, that could be an issue to be addressed in the floor of the Senate, and there is the very need to actually look at it, because actually some order comes in, and some ideas of correcting things comes in sometimes after unfortunate incidences or tragedies. But I believe in this kind of situation there is that very need to look at that, and I believe that within this very period of time somebody is making move certainly for that issue. For now, the confusion is that whether as an elected senator you have the right, or legislature you have the right to assert your independence in the Senate and put in national interest first, and you still have to be conforming to what your party always wants you to do. So I think these are issues that will be put forward by someone, and then it's going to be addressed.
But how do you think that would play out where the party is concerned? Would the leadership of the party buy into those elected on their platform sort of like throwing their reins off just so that they can serve?
You see, from what had happened right from the election of Tambuwal as a Speaker of House of Reps years ago, and also the election of Senate President Bukola Saraki into office, it's very clear that the legislatures can themselves disobey their parties, and then a precedent has been set and nothing happens. So it's now that there is a clear point that whatever happens in the Senate or the National Assembly is superior to whatever the party may decide. And that is why this crisis is better resolved out of the chambers, because once it came in and then a decision is made by the legislature, certainly is going to be what will be the law, and the party has nothing else to do. And that is why for now, whatever the Senate President, whichever names he is going to mention in the floor of the Senate as the leaders of the party, as leaders of the caucuses or of the leadership of the National Assembly, it remains the law, and then the party have nothing else to do on it. This is the situation now.
What really is in it for this leadership position that is affecting the nation?
Principal positions in the National Assembly are leadership positions that are naturally seats that could be said to be some of the most important, and they played a role in terms of the way the legislature has been run and so it's been led, and also they provide the head in terms of whatever happens there. And that is why it's so crucial. But like I've said earlier, those who have been there, second-timers and third-timers and ever-timers like Mark, they are always there they know more about the usefulness of those positions. And I said, that is why for people like me who are coming there, for two reasons. One is that we know that what is most of interest to Nigerians is that there is a need for the nation to move forward and to deliver in time, because we have a goodwill that has an expiry period, and then that must be taken into consideration. But leadership positions are key seats in the Senate that are very, very crucial and important. That's why you see fisticuffs happening within both the states and the federal level. And they know the value of it. They know how strong those positions are. And that is why they can go to all extent, which is very unfortunate.
Very quickly, give us an insight into, you're a first-time senator. All of those talk about having some form of orientation. Does it really impact in what you see in some other colleagues of yours?
Well, I have always challenged that very in-house rules, whereby the second and long-term serving legislators have been taken with more consideration and value than those of us who are coming for the first time. I don't believe in that, because I don't think there is, when as a fresher I see a second and third term serving senator exchanging blows and also conducting himself in a manner that is unbecoming of a legislator, I don't think there's anything I need to learn from it. And going by what happened in the last 6 years.
Well, this is much more personal. You don't really sound or look like a freshman in the Senate.
I can be a freshman. I've been on the street as a civil rights activist. I've been in prison as a freedom fighter. I have been to so many things, and we have also been protesters outside of the National Assembly on several occasions. And now we find ourselves in an uncomfortable position that we have to conform. For example, the issue of the wardrobe allowance and other issues. We have always been outside the Senate raising placards against the senators. Now I find myself on the other side, and then we have to now learn to be in government, and then that is a difficult thing for some of us. But we are learning to do it, and it's not only us. Most persons in the APC are learning to be in government, and most people in the PDP who have been used to governance and luxuries of power in the last 16 years are also learning the arts of opposition. So it's a good learning process for all of us.
All right, Senator, let's talk solutions now before we wrap this up. What should the party leadership be doing now to resolve this deadlock?
Well, I think the party leadership now have a lot of work to do. And first of all, they need to call all the senators of the APC, sit them down with Mr. President by the other side, and then possibly someone like former President Obasanjo just need to be invited into the meeting. And then work it out. Let's do the thing, that is bury the hatchet, because when people are told to bury the hatchet, simply what they do is to cover it with leaves and then go for it each time there is the need for that, and that is a very wrong thing to do. So we need actually to dig a very big hole, put some concrete and bury the hatchet and never to go for it again, and then see how both sides can accept the very fact that we are there to work for our nation, to work for our people, and there are pressing issues which Nigerians want us to seriously address and move the country forward. We cannot continue. For now, it may still be impressive to still blame PDP and raise issues, but it can't be that in the next 6, 7 months or 1 year. We simply have to be seen and to be judged according to
because
how we are able to handle the
bottom line is, Senator, Nigerians will accept no excuse if the APC doesn't deliver on its promise.
That is fact. That's a fact, and that is why we need to get away from these internal problems and then move forward on it. And if not, like I've said, goodwill is not going to be there forever. Once you waste it, certainly the missiles will start flying, and that would be very unfortunate for us.
All right. Thank you very much indeed, Senator Shehu Sani, for speaking with us today on the program.
Thank you.
Okay, so there you have it. But we will get to hear from another senator in the course of the program here today, so you have to just stay with us on that one. But give us a moment. We'll be back.